Good afternoon, and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents Dread and Circus Episode 8. I'm your DM and host, Marty, joined by Ahmed and Mark. I am sick as balls right now. I've got a bad cold. Of course, that happened on my week off. I guess that could have been worse, but I've spent the last couple of days on the couch. Aside from trying in vain to run a D&D session last night, hopefully it will go better tonight. How's everyone else doing? Yep. Threats definitely help with cold.
Yeah. Sunshine, happiness.
How you doing,
The
Ahmed?
Altagar Altoids. Yeah, I'm good, man. Work's pounding me, so I'm looking for work to game.
Got it. So you can beat up something. There's nothing like
something.
playing a bunch of slaves in the back of a card to give you the satisfaction that you need.
It's like, wow, I'm back at work.
Someone else telling me what to do. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
fun for me. I get to play all the non-slaves.
Hey, Foxfire, how you doing?
Fox, Drakester. We were talking about Pathfinder 2E.
Let's see who's here, yeah.
Electrical skateboard as well. Good to see you folks.
Electrical, Drake. What's going on, guys?
So yeah, Pathfinder
What's going
2.0
on?
announced that they're going to start their playtesting or have started playtesting.
Yeah.
I thought that Pathfinder 2.0 would have come out around the time that 5e came out, but then 5e came out and stole their thunder, and I imagine that they've been sitting on this for a while. I'm hoping that Starfinder is not going to be the like closest thing we've seen to Pathfinder 2.0. I wasn't really impressed with the Starfinder rules, but maybe that's the way they're going. We'll see. I'll definitely try that out because it's closer. It'll likely be closer to what we've been playing for. Well, if we include 3E since like 2001.
Yeah.
And excuse me as I try to stifle sneezes and get my nose to stop running. Everyone has got the nose slime disease in my campaign world right now, but the players are magically not getting it. It's like really weird.
It's okay, I know how to play it. I'm gonna summon.
You have this nose slime? Yeah, I got the nose slime. You got the nose slime? Yeah,
It's weird, it's a god of slime.
Horrible. Oh, to be an 8th level monk or a 4th level paladin.
Yeah, the nose slime is great. You're never thirsty.
That's not how it works, but okay.
It is for
Charisma,
Snowbeard. It is for Snowbeard.
Yeah, so that's something we'll
not even a
definitely
modifier.
try out once we have access to it. It would be cool to get access to it to try it out. So we'll definitely let you know our thoughts as those thoughts are more well formed and based upon actually trying the game. But cool stuff, cool news, good for Paizo because I don't know if Starfinder did as well as they hoped it was going to. I don't see lots of people playing it. My players aren't like beating down the door trying to get me to run it. So that's my anecdote, I guess. All right. So Mark, you all right?
Yes, despite the fact I caught fire this week.
I don't mean to laugh.
Guy's on fire.
So like literally caught on fire.
Yes, I literally caught on fire. Well, my clothing caught on fire. So.
Okay.
And I am.
He was a high level alchemist that got him.
No, I'm like covered in leathers when I'm working. So.
Oh
Yeah, I'm on fire. That would be
You're like a
shocking
monk that
for
I
most
know.
people.
Did somebody point it out? Like, did somebody go up to you and go, "Hey, Mark"?
No, I was working and I'm like, what's that smell? I'm like, oh, burning boot. That's what that is.
Hey, Rocky, you smell something? I don't know, Alfred.
So did you like what?
something hot.
Mark failed his reflex save or perception check or one of the two.
Both. One on each.
Well, he beat the fort save to the wall. It's like,
Right, his equipment
One fire.
had resist
just a
2 or
scratch.
something like that. So So did you like touch something that was like on fire, or
No, it's some slag had jumped out of the chute, and I hadn't noticed.
just grabbed it and put it back.
And I stepped back, and I stepped in it.
Oh, okay.
And so my boots caught fire.
So slag, this is like molten rock or molten metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, molten tailings, I guess. Lovely. Okay, you're okay though.
Oh yeah. Well,
Does that mean the slag could have jumped out of the chute and hit you?
yeah. Like I'm literally like a foot away from the stream of hot metal.
That's awful. That's horrid.
Oh yeah, there's a guy like this summer got burned so bad he was off for like months.
But he's back in the same spot.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the crazy thing. He's got enough seniority to bid out to somewhere where there's no molten metal, and he's like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, you have a uterus-shaped brand on your leg right now. He's like, yeah, whatever. It's no.
It's just a scratch.
All right, I will never complain about my desk job again.
No, I had a
what-
desk job for a while. I kind of miss my desk right now.
Yeah. So why don't we do a recap? Mark, did you happen to see any of last episode? I thought it was really good. It was called A Friendly Game of Checkers.
No,
okay.
I've just in the last 6 days I've put in 12 hours a day, so I really don't have
okay.
a chance.
Yeah, you may want to go back to the Nix incident, episode 5, and then you played in episode 6, which is Crocodile Tears.
Yes.
All right, so let's go back to Crocodile Tears, which is last time that we concentrated on Arlen, Edward, Snowbeard, Sam, and Ugg. Crocodile Tears. Arlen, Edward, and Snowbeard prove themselves in combat against the Master Conjurer's monsters amidst the 4 pillars of the old gods.
And let's face facts, against all odds, survived.
It was just like crit.
I heard the news. You all survived. I'm like,
Unwind,
fighting. It was
Unwind
We
is
survived because of a low D3 roll. That's why we survived.
a low D3 roll and a few criticals, and it was like, okay, you guys are gladiators, welcome.
Yeah.
Unwind is thrown into the ring after disappointing his master for the last time.
He's going to be the most pitiable character in the entire campaign. And as a player, I'm determined to see him survive till the end.
I know.
Unwind now has stats. Cool Man Skate, how's it going? Unwind now has stats. He's a first level conjurer. Ugg is punished for touching the conjurer outside of the arena during the fight, and Sam comes to his aid in solidarity and joins him in the punishment. Thalana is involved in a trade between masters. These gladiators can come and go. They are a commodity. They are a thing. They are trade good, property, basically, of masters. Arlen, Edward, Sam, Snowbeard, and Ugg take the gladiator's oath. Undwind is forced into indentured servitude, and his debts are sold to a new master. Along the road of sorrow, the caravan meets Radimer Fink, a necromancer and corpse collector. And we are basically, here is the caravan of sorrow that we're sort of nicknaming it. They are going along what is called the road of sorrow. Where is the world map that they've gone so far? They've gone from the Grand Bastion by road to the sea, Citadel by the Sea. Actually, they went by ship from the Grand Bastion to Citadel by the Sea, and then by road to Crypt Head, where they had their first taste of gladiatorial combat. Then to Quatra, where they fought in the 4 pillars of the old gods and took their gladiatorial oath. And I believe the caravan is now heading towards the Tindar Slave Market, where Zamacles, their current master, has papers that promise him a lot of slaves. Not as in many slaves, although that is true. A lot as in a group of slaves. Not all slaves are sold individually. Like cattle, they might be sold in groups. Yes, this is a mature game. This is we're diving into the horrible underbelly of the world of Tarak. Where the Imperium, a human-centric empire, that spans many worlds, has decided that they are going to control the local population through distraction of bread and circus, or as the campaign is called, dread and circus. The last game that we played on Saturday focused on the masters, who are the future masters. They are also the PCs. They did a bunch of things. We'll get into that later on. But these two groups, the slaves that are heading along the caravan of sorrow towards the imperial city, and then the young masters who are involved in the skullduggery of the business of running gladiatorial ludices, are on their own sort of adventure. And eventually, these two groups will kind of meet. The way I've sort of like trying to set this up, and it seems to be working out, is one side of the coin, one episode, and we kind of alternate between the two. One side, they get to see the politics of running a ludus, and then this side, they get to see the horrors of the adventure of being a slave turned gladiator.
Yeah, any of our characters would call this an adventure.
True.
Aren't you having fun?
Conformity and cruelty at its best. Right. Thanks, Drakester. All right, so they're heading towards Tindar Slave Market. Do any of the now newly minted gladiators? I'm also battling a cold right now, so excuse my nose if I have to blow it. Do any of you have knowledge local, or any sort of worldly knowledge
from the slaves? Okay,
Yep.
Hold on. I gotta see who the slaves are in here. Okay, so who do we have? We've got Ugg, Sam. They should be in the same list, right?
Yep.
Arlen, Sam. Okay, I see him. Let's take a quick look. Arlen has got knowledge. Nothing. Sam. Religion planes. So no, religion maybe.
What about Uggies?
I'm looking at him up right now. He's got knowledge, nothing.
Really?
Yup. Is
All
Edward?
right.
Yeah, Edward.
Edward
Edward
might
might be
be,
useful. Yeah. Knowledge arcana.
Okay, so you guys don't know much about the continent that you're on. Perfect. So you're going to basically know the things that you're shown or seen, or
And Snowbeard is dumb as dirt.
Ah.
I hit things.
got it. So none of the
Old-
slaves
where's
know
old
have
ego?
any. None of them are bards. Got it. So after leaving Quatra, it is a short period of time on the road before this wide road leads to a strategic what Zamacles, or you hear the guards over saying, is a border fort. The old man that is pulling your cart, he is a slave as well. His name, he's just called Old Whitey. He seems to have conversations with you whenever the guards are not around. Although the guards have started to pick up on the fact that he might be friendly towards the gladiators themselves. He says to you as you're approaching the old border fort, he says, "Old borders die hard, I guess."
What? What? I was sleeping. Why are you talking again?
Didn't mean to disturb you. Just keep your mouth shut. We don't know how cranky these guards are.
I am a high and mighty gladiator now. They can't touch me. Worth money. Worth money now.
Quiet. I don't want attention drawn to us.
That's too bad. You're a gladiator going in the ring.
They don't care. We're gladiators. Shh.
So you do notice that the soldiers here, they're dressed a little bit different than the
Says
Imperial
Arlen.
soldiers that you have as well. You've got two sort of categories of soldiers that are escorting Zamacles. You've got Imperial soldiers that have muskets and rapiers and seem to have, are able to carry guns. And then you have the traders from your own continent of Stygia. These are mercenaries that have got heavy halberds, pole axes, crossbows. They seem to be like several hundred years behind in technology, which is the reason why the Imperium, or one of the reasons why the Imperium has rolled over the continent of or renamed the continent Empirica. The soldiers at this border, you do see a few guns amongst them. They have different heraldry and different colors. They speak a slightly different language. You're having a hard time understanding them, even if you know Imperial Common, which is basically the common of the continent. This may be a territory that has been allowed a certain amount of autonomy. You know, the Imperium doesn't always just destroy the country that they're going through. There are humans that have made deals for degrees of autonomy to become vassal states or protectorates, or etc. So the fact that you stop at a border way station and fort that is defended, and Zamacles pays some sort of tax or toll to get through this border fort, suggests that the entire Imperium is not unified and one. Without any skills to tell you what these things are, you pass out of the valley where these border forts were, and then you begin to descend into a bit of a drier climb over the next few days and in coming weeks. And in fact, it's more of a prairie land that you're entering.
Okay.
Kind of between the border fort and the Tindar Slave Market. There are mountains that loom in the horizon, and the roads are actually well paved. They are patrolled. There are little villages that you seem to pass through. You do stop at a few, but they don't let you out of your cages. They don't stop to do any gladiatorial fights here. You do see that there are a lot of what we'll call... I need a good name for an old-timey road.
An old-timey road?
You know what? There were old highways, so it was the...
I don't know.
We'll call it the Highway of Vistas. As you're kind of along a plateau, and along this edge of the plateau, coming out of the hills and mountains, there are a lot of villas. And the villas are massive, almost industrial scale farms with likely slave run.
Oh, look at all these fancy pants places.
Yeah, this looks like a much nicer place to be a servant, perhaps.
Well, if you're gonna go on a murdering spree, this is where you do it.
glad we agree.
Ugg gives you a twisted look, like you don't think Ugg, despite the fact that he's twisted and deformed, is twisted and deformed on the inside. He gives you a look like he doesn't like what you're talking about.
Oh, no, you don't understand what I'm saying, because after you kill him, there's all sorts of stuff to take, not because you enjoy the killing. I'm just saying, if you got to. Because that justifies it.
I think there is something wrong with you, says Edward.
Yeah,
I think there's something wrong.
Yeah, that's something really... Sam just is going to sit closer to he's going to lean closer to the boy. Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, the boy scoots over. The boy's not even chained up. He might be able to, if it weren't for his large head, be able to fit through the bars.
Hey, boy, why don't you conjure us a chicken? I'm hungry.
He gives you a look like he's disgusted.
Okay, maybe that dog of yours you're so fond of.
It's not how it works, is what he says.
Huh, I know with you it's rarely how it works. Rarely works at all, does it? Otherwise you wouldn't be here, would you?
Just
lay
ignore
off
him. Just
Lay
ignore him,
off
says
him
Sam.
Yeah. Lay off him already.
Snowbeard's not making any friends in the cart.
With a charisma of 5, how could he?
Through deed. Only through gruesome deed. As you're approaching this Tindar Slave Market, this is one of the largest slave markets on the continent itself. Even though you've never been, none of you have been here, you've heard of the name, even without your ranks and any knowledges. As you're approaching the Tindar Slave Market, you do see that there are some caravans of wagons that are leaving the vicinity of Tindar Slave Market and heading south. The people in the wagons look like... Some of them might look like indentured servants or slaves. They are chained up in some of the wagons. A lot of the wagons are empty. Really, really long, big wagons. And a lot of the men in the wagons look like they have wood-cutting axes.
Okay.
You see one of these types of caravans returning as you're very close to the vicinity of the Tindar Slave Market. They are basically doing logging somewhere. Wood is at a premium. Wood is one of the more valuable fuels of this empire, at least currently in Empirica. But you don't see any forests around. Nothing that would yield like the massive timbers that they're dragging back towards the Tindar Slave Market. On the caravans themselves, you see that there are dead goblin heads that have been spiked up onto spears that are sticking out of like the four corners of the caravan itself, and one of the loggers actually has this long line of sad-looking goblins in chains attached to.
Do you know if there's goblins in this area?
You guys have no knowledge, so conversation is a good way to find out things.
Yeah. Hey, Whitebeard.
You guys are basically stopped, allowing this big caravan of loggers with their massive wagons and their goblin slaves.
Yeah.
Where are these guys? Are there any goblins in this area? Where are they? I mean, should we be careful? Like,
the goblins don't look like they're
come from?
The goblins don't look like they're armed. They look like they're really, really tired. And there's some guy like just mercilessly whipping one of them that seems to be almost like being dragged behind. The whipping doesn't seem to make the goblin move any faster.
Goblins is like rats. They get everywhere. And they make good eating, too.
No, they
Where'd
don't.
they come from, like
No, they don't, says old Whitey, and there's sort of a cough and a wheeze.
Sure they do. Kind of like chicken, but gamier.
You make yourself sick by eating a goblin.
Maybe for one of your tender constitution. We dwarves don't worry about those things.
An affront to the gods to eat another sentient creature.
They're barely sentient.
No, please, no,
You know,
please.
That's all you ever hear from them.
Snowbeard is vile.
Nothing but the whining and the complaining.
All right, well, you do see them dragging this group of goblins. Those goblins will be sold in the slave market.
Are they? Aren't we all going to the slave market?
Yeah, you guys hit a road and you were waiting for this caravan to pass.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're merging. It's like
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm describing some of the traffic you're seeing along the roads.
Yeah. That's cool. Cool. Let's go back.
Goblins, says Undwin.
Yes, they're goblins. Not a threat. These ones, anyways. But keep your wits about you. You never really know.
Shadow woods to the south. Goblins are in that wood.
That where the wood come from, too?
You say there's goblins to the south of here.
Uh-huh. All the forests of this area have been cut down.
I see.
Forests are overrated, anyway. What you want is a nice big iceberg. Next best thing is a cave, but
The goblins in the south, apparently there are big hordes of them. Hordes of them.
Hmm.
I wonder if a horde will swoop down on our camp tonight. Take us all prisoner.
Good gods curse you. Just quiet.
Maybe eat us all.
I
But
think I'd
slowly.
rather be prisoner of the Imperium than prisoner of Goblin. At least I am
course
not
you would.
on. At least I am not on a spit.
Of course you would. You'd be lucky to get on a spit with them. They tend to. You got small bellies, so they eat you slow, bit by bit. Cut a piece off of you every day. Maybe even feed you some of yourself just to keep you alive, keep you fresh.
Oh, just 'cause-
Even Arlen's starting to shake. You really need to
Ugg just
quiet.
looks away like he's done listening to you. Ugg, keep in mind, is a hobgoblin half-ogre. Or ogrekin or something like that. He's like some sort of goblinoid. Not the little green goblin-ish things, though. All right, so the slave caravan, you actually turn onto the road following the big caravan of wood. It's slow moving, and in a few days you arrive, and what can be described as a horrible place in the baking sun. People clinking away at rocks in what look like big exposed kind of open mines. You're not even sure what they're mining. You just see thousands of miserable looking shells of people.
Like a downtown core? Got it.
No, this is you could probably see in the vicinity 2,000 people kind of with pickaxes and shovels and moving stones, clinking away at the earth. There are bigger, stronger, obviously more well-fed men in leathers with whips, motivating them to do their work. There's the odd donkey and cart where most of the time the carts and wheelbarrows are pushed by these destitute people. You pass by what might have been a quarry before coming over a hill and looking down upon a veritable metropolis tent city. There are some buildings, like lodges made out of wood. There's a lot of tents. You're in sort of in a warmer area. It seems to be arid and dry. You can see people like clamoring over water. The place is massive.
Does Arlen get any close? Sorry, while you explain this, does Arlen get close to any of these people?
Sure,
Or not?
there was a line of people that were being shuffled to some horrible task or to their doom. They were all chained together. There's a line of about 8 of them, and maybe four masters walking alongside of them.
I'm only asking to see if Arlen can. Yeah, let's just see what Arlen's not channel, and he's not going to channel because that'd be stupid. Like, hey, kill me next. I just want to see what his alignment is, because he might try to
It's a
pour water on some people.
giant mine, says Sam. Yeah, I think there
horrible.
is multiple mines here. I see stone and salt. You actually do see a wagon roll by with like highly granular crystals of what look like salt.
Neutral good.
There
If
has-
Arlen
there has
can
to be
sneak
there
in
has
a
to
water,
be at least 20,000 people here or more.
if Arlen can sneak in a create water on somebody who needs it, he will.
Okay, Arlen ends up doing create water, kind of pouring water out of his hands. He does have, like, there are lines of slaves that are resting, I guess, along the side of the road. You do have a bunch of them sort of reach up and try to grab water out of your hands as you're pouring it constantly out of the wagon. More often than not, though, some of the assholes that are in your the Stygian soldiers are now walking beside you and wrapping your fingers whenever you stick your hand outside of the outside of the wagon.
Got it. You get,
That's what kindness will get you. Broken fingers.
the gods watch.
Don't even get me started on compassion.
What did you go through to be like this?
You eventually do stop, sort of you create a circle with your wagons, almost like you're expecting trouble in this place. Zamacles does leave with a couple of the Imperial guards, and he instructs that no one is to be inside of, like, no one's to be allowed inside of the circle. They leave you in your cages, but they do feed you. That evening, the warm, dry, arid area does turn a little bit cold. You are thrown a couple of blankets for the. These are like big, shaggy, kind of like oxen hide blankets.
Okay.
You're only given two. Perhaps two people could fit under one.
All right. All right. I'm gonna have to.
Who's taking a blanket?
We're gonna have to snuggle.
No, Snowbeard's not gonna push this. He's got cold resist.
Okay.
He's gonna get cold.
Snowbeard's like
But he does offer to snuggle Unwin. Till Sam probably
gives you an elbow.
I was just joking.
They do remark, though, when you guys are eating your cold fish that has been purified by the grace of Freya, you guys are so lucky that there is a priest in your wagon, or you'd be eating like rotten fish.
Yeah, and we can get water whenever we want it.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, this is a problem, and Arlen, the guards eventually get tired of watching you, and you are able to position yourself to an area where at least 40 people come up to your wagon that evening and ask for water.
Yep,
there's this really quiet line of these really skinny, kind of wiry, thin, perhaps even starving people that look like they have seen the Master's lash one too many times.
If I channel, does that create light or anything? Like, how audible and visible is that?
It is a 30-foot radius of radiant healing. It is light.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Yeah. You have to take that. You have to take it.
At some point, the guards chase away a few people that are really insistent and begging for your blessings and that sort of thing. Others were really thankful, but the vast majority of them just went away once they got their few handfuls of water to return to whatever drudgery that awaits them. You see these lodges that are being built. It looks like that's probably where most of the wood, aside from the various cook fires and campfires. These lodges look like, while they may provide some protection from the elements, you doubt you want to go into any of these places, as they appear to be packed full of people, and by people I mean slaves. There is one lodge kind of nearby where you saw Zamacles went to, and there are actual lanterns hung outside of that lodge.
Oh.
Zamacles comes back late that night. He's a little bit drunk, maybe, having talked to some slave masters that are there. Old Whitey disappeared for a while. Apparently he went off into and amongst the camp of slaves, and you actually saw him sneaking back, Snowbeard. I believe you have dark vision, so you actually see him sneaking back to the circle. He was instructed not to go, like no one was to leave.
Hey, where are you going?
Just tending.
You're told not to go anywhere.
Getting some better grass for the ox is what he says, and he does have a handful of grass, but it's hardly enough to feed all the oxen. He gives you this dirty look, like
such an ass.
A couple of guards come over, and Joran the hymn comes out, and Zamacles, and they do question old Whitey, but Zamacles seems to be drunk, and he lets he lets it go.
Is anybody in our group doing bad in the weather? Like, it's cold. Is anybody...
You do notice that Snowbeard seems to be completely unaffected by the coolness at night.
Okay, I don't really care. I mean the group, like the ones I care about.
Well, who's got the blankets? Sam is sharing
a
a blanket with Unwind. Who's grabbed the other blanket?
It's like... Okay, so we've got... I do have an Endure Elements.
Okay.
Let Sam went with who?
Unwin.
Sam is sharing the blanket with Unwind, making sure that the boy is okay.
You two go ahead. I'll be fine. I'll cast the Endure Elements on myself.
Edward looks a little less than eager to share a blanket with with Ugg, but he does kind of throw it over. Part of Ugg. Ugg just nods. Ugg wasn't going to ask for one, but he would have taken the brunt of the weather. With your strategically placed Endure Elements, and with Snowbeard's natural resistance, you guys are able to make it through this now growing colder fall day. You do see that there are meager campfires that are there. A lot of dung fires, like they've run out of wood in a camp this size. This is not a pleasant place.
Smells like home cooking.
Morning does come, and Zamacles, you can see, is kind of rubbing his temples a little bit. Ooh, it is the last time, well, not the last time that I drink my people's drink. Oh, dragon draughts are most dreadful. Soldiers have prepared some water. They've boiled some water, and he goes over and dunks he's the first one that gets to drink or bathe from it. And he dunks his head into the water. He looks over at his slaves or his gladiators, while Joram the Hin is patting him off with a towel. And how did you fare this evening?
The blankets were very comforting. Thank you so much.
I hope they don't have too many fleas.
Oh, we'll be fine. Nothing we can't shrug off. Thank you for caring.
Maybe and he puts his clawed hand over top of Joram the Hin's head and just sort of blink. Maybe I'll have to have all of you shorn like Joram here. He's so clean, and all of you are so dirty.
If you give us a chance to bathe and clean ourselves, perhaps we'll fetch a better price.
I ain't had a bath in 5 years. I'm planning on having one now.
Perhaps you can just put him straight down. For the rest of us, perhaps a bath would fetch us a better price.
Oh, I'm not selling you here. Don't worry. Don't fret your little heads. I'm not selling you here at the slave market, although I'm sure there are many like me who are looking for those who are fit to be gladiators. No. That old conjurer, he says with a yawn, sold me a lot of slaves. I really only want 3 of them. What am I going to do with 37 other hungry mouths?
Sell them?
Yes, it could take some time to sell them, and after I take the cream of the crop from the lot, I suppose I will have to go and inspect them.
If you would like, I could help you with that. I'm well versed with healing and helping others. So I could tell you which ones are stronger, weaker. If you'd like, of course.
This one has been providing water, Master, for those in his cage. Oh, I see. Yes, Arlen is a priest of some elvish god, isn't he?
Yes.
Joram the Hin. I am also skilled at ascertaining which ones are diseased, Master. We do not need his help. Oh, don't worry, Durham. I'm not trying to get rid of you. Give me a charisma check for Arlen, or a diplomacy check, as you're trying to convince to go along to inspect the slaves.
Okay.
The DC is 15. Zamacles likes his gladiators.
20.
Oh, well, we could see what he could do. Maybe he could heal a few of them. We will be traveling through the wastes, Master. I do not think that... Well, we'll see. But chances of bringing all 37 through the wastes is close to none. Yes, but perhaps with Arlen I could sell these slaves. Make them more healthy. We are coming upon my homeland soon.
Or we could make bets as to which one falls next.
Oh, we could make bets, yes. Unfortunately, I do not think you have enough money to be in a betting class with me. And
I'll
that...
bet Unwin's fingers.
No, Unwin is much more valuable where he is. He's not a slave, after all. He's merely indentured. He'll get to work towards his freedom. Unwin, not too sure what to make of that. Yes, well, Master, we should go and visit the slave masters to see if that lot is ready to be viewed. Oh, yes, yes. The longer we wait, the less chance there are 40 of them still alive.
Marty, is Joram a slave as well?
Yeah.
Ah,
Joram the Hin is a well-educated halfling slave.
gotcha.
He's wearing a bronze plaque around his neck, written probably in High Imperial what his skills are.
Gotcha.
He's got this little tablet that like a little clay tablet that he writes into, and a tablet on one side and slate on the other. He follows Zamacles around. He's like
He's got his permanent on his neck, literally.
Yeah,
permanent in a resume.
like most slaves. Although the gladiators have their resume, which is the brand that you guys were given.
Yeah. Arlen's talking quietly to the group. Show your skills. Try to show your value, and that's the way to protect yourselves here.
What are you talking about? That's going to happen to us here.
Here in the Imperium.
It is not a bad idea. Unfortunately, my true value is stuck in my spell book, which is inside of his caravan.
But you are good with words, right?
What are you talking about, fancy pants?
That's fine.
That hair's got to be worth something. Look at that.
But
yes, I know. I am blessed on my mother's side with the good hair. My father was as bald as you. I am lucky that I have my grandfather's hair.
Till he shaves you.
Yeah, that was a most disturbing thought. Although I have begun to get more itchy since you arrived.
They're like family. I don't know what your problem is.
I think we're going to call him Fleabeard. What do you think, Unwin?
Hey.
Unwin actually has a little bit of a smile at that. Fleabeard, I like it, is what he says.
You like it, do you? You like the Fleabeard, do you? Be wearing a Fleabeard on your head is what you carry me around next time we get out of this cage. Piggyback me around. Like a pony.
It's probably where he keeps my spellbook, says Undwind. Yes, I noticed that they brought a book with them when they brought you aboard. If that's what you mean by prove the worth, he already knows what I'm worth. I already used my spells. I did not hide the fact that my family are magi.
But you're very good with words. Perhaps you can use you to negotiate for him, perhaps. Think of whatever you can do.
I'm sure he uses them lips of his to negotiate.
Perhaps I could get sold if someone also needs a magi as opposed to an alchemist. The alchemist was sold very quickly. Apparently we're going to find out what an alchemist is worth. apparently 40 other slaves and they understudy.
Well, he's actually just indentured. Of course, by the time you throw on, he's going to charge you for your food. He's going to charge you for your lodging. I mean, you're talking years, and you might be gray before you're free.
Shut up, is what he says.
Hey, don't tell me to shut up. What would your mama say? Oh, wait, she won't hear from you for quite some time now, will she?
Just evil looks from inside the wagon from the other people around here. I think everyone else is good alignment.
Meanwhile, he's chaotic evil.
We are.
Is he
we are.
chaotic
I'm
evil?
neutral good.
I believe it's chaotic evil. He's evil for sure. I believe it's chaotic.
Oh, I thought it was neutral evil, but still. All right.
I might be wrong. No, it is neutral evil. It is neutral evil.
Unwin looks away, and Sam's like, "Don't worry about him." You do notice that your friend, what was the name of that one guard?
Don't cry. Wasting liquid is like teasing the rest of these slaves.
I thought we named one of the guards. I may have lost.
I think we did, yeah. Not that I can remember.
It's on the map. All right, his name is Berlin.
Roger. Roger.
No, it was Roger. Yeah, Roger. All right, Roger actually comes over with the keys. He's also the important one to remember. He carries the keys to both the wagon and to your manacles. Roger comes in. Morning, is what he says. He seems to be adjusting something around his belt. Damn belt. Need to cut another hole in it. That's what he says. Arlen, all right, step out.
Yes, of course.
Show me your manacles. Let's get them hands free.
Ain't changed from yesterday, Roger.
I stick my hands out for them to.
Yeah. He sticks his hands out. He undoes the manacles. It feels good to have your arms free.
Thank you. I much
out.
appreciate this.
Come on out. He actually kind of like helps you out, like kind of grabs your arm and helps you out. The other guy is annoyed with Roger because I think Roger's more friendly to you than he cares to be. He slams the door shut, and you notice Roger actually just like looks at the boy and kind of gives him a bit of a smile. Somebody said his name though. He's looking around like somebody was talking to him. I think Snowbeard muttered something about Roger.
I would have prepared. I would have. Oh, actually, I would have. So I would have prepared my spells for curing. Tell Rogers, like, if you come by at midnight, if you come by in the morrow, I'll be able to provide you with a spell that lets you resist the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Tomorrow I could do that.
He seems unsure. He's kind of looking next to his buddy. You gonna receive blessings from their gods now? No. That's all right. That's all right. He looks at you like he was perhaps briefly interested, but he gets shamed by his companion. His companion now needs a name. It's Roger and
Hodger. Lodger.
Roger and Eric. Eric shames Roger for considering to take blessings from one of the old gods as opposed to the five-faced god. And, all right, let's go look at some slaves. Apparently they're a sorry lot, if rumor's true. He's just chatting with fucking Arlen. Like, you got a bit of a walk to go there. Are you asking any questions? You can see Zamacles walking ahead with Joram.
What will happen to the other slaves, the ones that don't
I don't
make
know.
it?
The wastes are pretty harsh. Dry, full of snakes and drakes, and some say he actually like hushes his tone a little bit, like something would hear him. Maybe Roger's a bit superstitious. Some say that's where the blue worm is.
What's that?
A superstition. Don't listen to him, says Eric. He gets annoyed and just walks ahead. Blue worm. It's it might be just tavern talk, but a time when the Imperium first rolled through here, apparently that whole edge of the wastes were ruled over by some blue dragon, some horrible worm that shot lightning from his eyes.
Okay. And no one, I hope no one has seen this in a very long time.
Well, some of the Imperial dragon hunters probably took care of it. It was a long time ago, you know, and you need papers. You need papers to hunt dragons.
I would have thought they just let... I mean, they're dangerous creatures.
Nah. You need an Imperial dragon hunting permit. Applies only to a single adult or older dragon. I met a dragon hunter once.
Wow. Really?
You gotta apply for tags, is that it?
Hoards are itemized and scrutinized, and 50% of the value of any non-artifacts are awarded. Artifacts are seized per bonus. Yeah, it pays to pay attention when you're in a tavern. Talk to your betters. Well, I wouldn't call him betters. Well, yeah, they were a rough sort. Don't know if they got their dragon or not, but yeah, their dragon's still out there. He's sort of looking around. Probably not anywhere near here, though. This place is not quite dragon territory.
I hope not. It's...
Oh, yeah, and he talked about dragon eggs. He said the dragon eggs are valued and that their sale must be registered. He was hoping for one because, you know, dragon
do
eggs.
People make pets of them?
Well, I
Or
suppose
breakfast?
some of them are fucking dumb though. Like little tiny drakes. Them's will just eat your leg off if you're trying to make a pet of them. Stupid. And then there's wyverns, and then, well, dragons, big ones. Apparently, the bigger they get, the smarter they get.
Ooh.
I mean,
Then
like...
you couldn't make a pet of that, because...
No, Imperial Dragon Hunters. Yep. I'm sure they use even better versions of this. And he just taps his musket.
Wow. Has Arlen never touched a gun? No, I'm not going to ask for that, but like, wow. I've seen it work and I've heard it. It sounds just like a dragon roar, wouldn't it?
Yep. Make short work of anything that ain't, well, big beastie like that. Shreds through armor at a good range. It's the reason why you lost. Don't feel so bad.
Oh, it's, actually,
Eric would tell you because you're human. Because he's human. Nah. It's because we got these and you don't.
Arlen's somewhat into, like, yeah, they're fascinating. They...
Even old Zamacles there, his people, I think, used to worship them dragons. Or the dragons were their king or something. He's some kind of dragon. He ain't imperial. He's a subject.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I can trace my lineage off-world, so me and my family will always be imperial. As long as I don't go marrying any leaf-eared woman like you. Well, not your woman, but, you know, one of your kind.
Oh, I hope you don't marry me. Not the...
He's a holy man and he's funny. I know there's a reason why I kind of like the priests of the old gods. They got a sense of humor. Quit.
What world are you from?
My people are from... oh, God. You're going to make me... worlds and locations. The other campaign. Imperial worlds. I'm from Pistoria. Well, at least I can trace some of my lineage back to Pistoria.
What's that world like?
Farms. It's tame.
Oh.
Dragons are only, like, children's stories on Pastoria. Nothing
Oh,
exciting happens there.
So you were born there?
No, my family was born there. I can trace my lineage back to there, which means that
Okay.
my family's good. We got our own coat of arms, and we know where we come from. It's good to know where you come from, Arlen.
That's impressive. So that's... Where's your code?
Huh?
Where's your code? You had said you have a code of... What's your code? He's listening to it.
A coat of arms. It means it's a sigil for my family. I'm not a I haven't achieved any sort of notoriety, so I don't get to wear my crest. But if I ever became, say, a knight or baron or something, not that I ever have aspirations to do that. Nope. Soldiering is life for me.
I hope you reach the station that is best for you and the one that you wish for.
Well, very kind of you. The old gods aren't so bad. Don't let the followers of the five-faced god say any different. I'm glad that they let you practice. Now,
Yes,
DM's
do
just
I.
gotta switch the battery on his freaking headphones here, because it clicking in and out was driving it a little crazy. Hey, Kenny, how's it going? They are at
Cast charge battery on that.
they are at the Tindar Slave Market. They being the newly minted gladiators along the road of sorrow. Zamacles apparently traded, if you recall, Thelana, the gnome alchemist, for a lot of 40 slaves, which he had to travel to the Tindar Slave Market to do. The Tindar Slave Market is 20,000 people scratching away at the earth. Apparently, there's a quarry nearby, as well as a salt mine, and by the look of the health of these people, this is not where you want to spend the remainder of your days. You have yet to see healthy people. Malnourished, bent back, broken people, and misery as far as the eye can see.
Roger, if I don't overstep my bounds, if Arlen sees people that are in need of maybe some water, would you mind if I just, as we walk, is that all right, or would I cause you trouble?
We got it. We're here to go look at slaves. Maybe
sorry.
maybe Zamacles will let you help out them guys.
Sorry, I don't mean to put you in any...
Nope, just come along.
Yes, sir.
Put your blinders on.
Laughs and
Okay.
whatever the...
Yeah, you see them. There's this sorry lot that are all kind of sitting down. They're chained together in groups of 5. But you see that there are mostly groups of 5 or 6. You see that there are a few slaves that are chained together, 3 of them, and they are a different race than that of the humans and other demi-humans. These are really, really burly
Okay.
dwarves.
Ooh,
There are
okay.
3 of them, black-bearded. A couple of them are bald. They put most of the people in your cart to shame strength-wise. They've got curled backs, like they have lived under heavy weights for a very long time, and their backs are literal like crisscrossing of scar tissue. Zamacles is talking to a slave master, and he's, oh yeah, you can pick up a little bit of the conversation. He's like, oh yes, no, I especially made the trip here to the Tindar Slave Market, in particular for those 3 over there. Slave-born dwarves are extremely rare. Slave-born, is what Roger says to Arlen. You notice Joram has wandered over. He's starting to look at the slaves, and he's, show me your teeth, is what Joram says. Why won't this one show me his teeth? And there's some guards that come over, and he is inspecting teeth. Tell them to smile. Oh, yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Allow Joram to inspect them. He's very good at what he does. Slave-born dwarves. Very rare. These are dwarves that are actually born under the flag of slavery. Most of them are in God's forsaken